All right, this is my third video now of the day. I'm actually going to be discussing now the trailers that were shown before Star Trek Beyond. Now, there were three of them mentioned, and those were the movie Ben-Hur, which was a remake of the old classic Ben-Hur, which is probably one of the greatest movies I think of all time. So that's going to be the one I'll talk about last. Then we had you know Xander Cage returning for XXX, the return of Xander Cage, Vin Diesel returning for that flick, and then we have the Magnificent Seven, which is this incredible looking story that I really, really, really want to see. Uh, we'll first start off with XXX because it was probably the most underwhelming of the trailers because it was everything I already expected. XXX is obviously a franchise that basically started. I want to say they were probably the franchise that started the whole blow shit up movement, where they just blew up as much stuff as possible and did as much extreme stuff as possible throughout all of their movies. So I definitely want to say that when I watched the trailer, it was a lot of the stuff that I've already seen. Nothing unique, nothing different. So seeing Vin Diesel return as Xander Cage, I'm very excited to see Vin Diesel come back as Xander Cage because we all thought he was dead after the second one, but I didn't see anything that really had me thinking this is something new and different, and I was very disappointed in that. It looks like he might actually have a team this time, where he's not just working alone. He might be working with four or five other agents that are extreme agents as well, like a team that he puts together of extreme agents. But for the most part, it looks like the same movie, just with different things. I, basically, I'm not going to spend too much time going into what was actually in the trailer because I can't actually show you the trailer. But if you watch the trailer, you see it's just a bunch of slow motion stunts, explosions, punches, kicks, stuff like that. Nothing we don't see in any other movie. So it is what it is. I was very underwhelmed with what it was. I thought if they were going to do something for a trailer, you didn't really need to show us anything. I mean, if you're going to show us Xander Cage, just the voice of Vin Diesel and just some badass line about how you thought I was gonna just stay in retirement forever, and boom, Xander Cage, like one kick down a door and see a silhouette of Xander Cage with the Triple X logo on the back of his neck. That's all I would have needed to be like, all right, they're gonna make a Triple X movie, but instead it was just a whole bunch of explosions and stuff. So while I know it's gonna be a fun movie to watch, the trailer doesn't have me any pumped more than I would be if they had just done a 30-second trailer with that. Uh, Next, we're going to talk about Magnificent Seven. It's an old Western movie that actually has me really excited. Never heard of it before. Like, I think it's based on an older movie that was like being redone now. But basically, it is Denzel Washington playing this character who's going to be co-working with uh wow. He's going to be working with Star Lord. Wow, I can't think of his name now to save my life. This is going to bug me for the rest of my life. But basically, he's working with the guy from Parks and Recreation, Star Lord, ran with Raptors. It's going to come back to me here in the middle of the video, but he's basically working right in hand with him. He's playing a gambler, and Denzel's playing a shark, like a bounty hunter. And there's like all these other characters. There's seven characters, and basically each character has a unique storyline to them. But I assume, judging from the thing, it probably like two or three of these people are probably going to be dead before the movie's over with. I don't feel like the Magnificent Seven is going to end with the Magnificent Seven. Uh, they have like a Native American Indian who's seen as the warrior. They have this rustic looking mountain man who's seen as the tracker. They've got the character is the gambler. They have the widow. They've got an Asian guy who plays the assassin, which looks crazy. He almost looks like a Western style yakuza. So it's definitely it looks interesting. It looks like it's a Western take on like I don't know, like almost like an Ocean's 11 style movie. They're trying to get revenge on all these people that have wronged them in the past, and it's it's different. It's Chris Pratt. Chris Pratt is who the actor is. Wow. Uh, so yeah, I mean, Chris Pratt looks like he's gonna play like this witty, goofy guy, but who's semi-serious and good with a gun. And they're basically fighting his whole army, basically, with just the seven of them. So that'll be interesting because back in the times that they're trying to portray, seven people taking on hundreds of people is actually a feat. So yeah, I think it should be a pretty good movie. It looks intense, and it looks like I think it was they said the director of Training Day is going to be directing this movie. So I feel like the storytelling is going to be really good as well. Plus, who doesn't like a good Western like spaghetti shooter? So I really hope that this actually has a lot of blood and guts in it, and you see people just getting messed up. I want to see someone take an arrow to the freaking face. I when I saw the Native American Indian, I'm like, I really want to see this guy who's like he's sniping with a bow and arrow from the tops of buildings. I want to see this guy like just tomahawk someone from across the map. Across the map, funny. And then the last trailer I want to talk about was Ben-Hur. Now, anyone who has ever like watched Ben-Hur the original knows that that's an extremely long movie. It was two full full VHS. I think it was like 6 hours long in the first version of Ben-Hur. Uh, it was an incredible story about this brother that was betrayed and who lost everything. He was this giant like character, and he basically has to find a way to redeem himself. And he ends up like challenge at the very end. He finally challenges his brother to this chariot race where basically no one, very few people live through the chariot race. It's this one of the most iconic scenes in cinema, I think, of this giant circular racetrack where people are out there riding on these chariots, and the chariots have blades on the sides of them, and people are competing. They're like hitting each other, throwing each other. And in the movie of the trailer, you just see horses' bodies are flying everywhere. You see, it's intense. There's so much going on. So it looks like it's going to be it was a movie back then. It was like one of the few movies that where a horse actually died during the shooting of the movie. It was like a big deal back then. So I don't feel like any horses are going to die in the shooting of this because it looks like it's all CGI. But looking back on how that movie was then and looking at how it has the potential to look now, I just feel like this movie is going to be amazing. I don't know how they're going to cram all of that movie into 2 hours, but I hope that they can. I'm really super excited to see it. I really feel like it's going to be one of my favorite reboots in a long time. Like I expected a lot from a bunch of reboots, but I feel like this reboot will actually do something for me because it's actually off of a movie that's not like a modern day or futuristic movie. Because I feel like whenever it's a futuristic movie, they go way over the top and they make everything look way too futuristic and they try way too hard. But whenever it's a gladiator movie, gladiator remakes and movies are so good. Like it's because it's simple. These people have been making like stuff for hundreds of years, and basically we're able to see all this stuff and we're studying it. We have it in a place where we can look at it. It's not just someone making it up saying, "Oh, I think it should look like this." It's literally someone saying, "All right, I'm going to go to a museum and take a look at this armor and this chariot for an hour and make sure that our chariots that we're doing for CGI actually look similar." So it's actually something they're going to be doing off of what we actually have. So I feel like it'll be a really really good remake. Um, that's basically it. I think there was like a random TV show thing that I didn't care about that they did in the trailers, but the three trailers for the three movies look insane. I'm gonna see all three of them when they come into theaters, and hopefully then I'll be able to do reviews as well. Hopefully I'll actually be better at reviews than I am now. If you like this, by the way, give me a thumbs up, give me a subscribe. Tell me what you want to see in future videos. Tell me what you liked about this one. Tell me how I can improve. I'm open to all types of criticism. Thank you for your time, and I hope you enjoyed the video.